Okay, let's look at a few features. This is one of my home screens here. First thing, if you've ever done it, if you swipe all the way left to right, this is a screen that's presented about your day. It's kind of very topical, and you can have a number of different things appear in this widget. At the top, I have a summary of calendared issues. Then there's a note for the Carlsbad weather. The yellow thing is an app called Tips, and that gives you short little lessons about your iPhone. The Tide is on the bottom left, and there's a clock icon there. Now, there's another thing that I think is interesting to many people. I'm swiping right to left, all the way to the right edge. And this is called the app library. And these categories are constructed by the iPhone. And frankly, they don't necessarily mean a whole lot to me. If I come to the app library, normally what I do is I swipe down on this screen and I can search for a particular app by typing up in the search box at the top where you see the cursor flashing, or I can navigate. These are all the apps I have in alphabetical order. So that's pretty handy. If you know the name of the app you're looking for, you can find it in alphabetical order. Or you could always just search for it. So I could search for camera. And there it comes up. There are several things, two things that have the name camera in them. And if I tap on camera, it'll take me to that app. From one of my home screens, I'm going to go to settings, and I have the settings icon loaded on the bottom right of every screen. I'm sorry, the bottom left of every screen, the gear icon. Let me tap on that. And this is the top level settings menu. And if we come down to this entry right here called General, and then we tap on the first one called About, this will tell you a lot of information about your iPhone. A lot of people aren't quite sure what model of iPhone they have or what version of the operating system they're on. So right there at the top, you see that I am on iOS version 26.3.1, and my iPhone is a 14 Pro. Okay? It also gives you information about how much stuff you have on your phone. Over 1,000 songs and videos and photos and apps, and the capacity and how much is available. Starting again at the top level settings, let's go look at accessibility, because this might be very handy in terms of improving the ease of use of the phone. So accessibility is near the bottom. Let me bring it to the top and tap on that. And these are a lot of different categories. What we want to do is we want to work on this one called display and text size. All right. Now, I've found that getting used to iOS 26 has been helped by switching bold text on. So I like the bolded text. It helps me. To me, it's more legible. And some of the things that have come with what's called the liquid glass feature of iOS 26, designed to be really cool looking. Frankly, it makes it harder to read some of the things. So I've turned on the bold text. Let's go to this next one called larger text. This allows me, with using the slider at the bottom, to adjust the size of text in many apps. Not all necessarily, but many apps support what they call dynamic type. And watch what happens when I swipe that slider to the right. All of the font size, the type size gets bigger and bigger. And I've just kind of decided that for me right now, this is about right. I change this from time to time based on what the kinds of things I'm working on. I'm going to go back a step, and we're going to look for something called reduce transparency. Well, there it is. If I turn it on, this will help to mitigate or reduce this liquid glass effect. So you can play with this. Other people also like to use the increased contrast, and that hasn't been especially helpful for me, but it might be for you. So there are a number of things in here, but trying that reduced transparency might be a good thing. Let me back up a step, and I'm going to go to Display and Setting and Brightness. And you've probably recognized this from previous versions, but there's something new here. If your phone is on 26, version iOS 26, you have this entry called Liquid Glass. And you have some choices with Liquid Glass. And a lot of times it comes with tinted, and I find the tinting of the liquid glass to be a distraction. So I've checked clear. And if you're struggling a little bit with the transition to iOS 26 because of the interface, then I think this would be a good idea to do.